major development in a child abuse scandal that continues to grow. Yet another mother has come forward saying her son was adopted by the now disgraced former Penn State coach Jerry Sandusky. She says Sandusky used a children's charity he set up and ran for decades to gain access to her son and others. Sandusky is charged with 40 counts of molestation and abuse. Here's ABC's Jim Avila.
It was unnatural from the beginning.
She knows Jerry Sandusky all too well. Deborah Long shares a child with him, hers by birth, his first as a foster child, and at age 18, adopted as an adult, after a relationship that began when Matt was just 10 years old.
When it first started, you could see that he was like excited to see Jerry show up. And then as it progressed, it got to the point where he would look out the window and see Jerry pull in and hide behind the bedroom door. Mom, tell him I'm not here.
Matt has said publicly he was never molested, and to this day is aligned with his adopted father. But his biological mother does not believe it and says Coach Sandusky stole her son's affections from her with the same predatory skills prosecutors say he used on 8 alleged victims of sexual assault. Meeting her son at the children's charity, Second Mile, mentoring him, a mom giving insight into what she and prosecutors contend are Sandusky's grooming techniques.
It was Jerry Sandusky. Any 10-year-old kid's going to be impressed by Penn State football. If it's a game here or it's a picnic there, Penn State jackets and athletic wear and shorts and money.
Trips.
Yeah, trips. Everything that a kid would dream of.
But for this mother, watching her child slip away, sent to Sandusky's foster care after the boy vandalized a garage, not sure what was happening to him. It was a different kind of dream.
How scary is this as a mom?
Oh, it's a nightmare. Nobody even wants to think that somebody would do that to their child. You know, and then so many adults knew about it and did nothing. How's that right?
It is the same method this mother says Sandusky used with her son. But her boy, alleged victim number 1, says he was molested by Sandusky. And ABC News has learned that he, along with another of the 8 alleged victims identified in the indictment paperwork, are now prepared to testify against Sandusky in court.
Is your son anxious to testify against him?
He's scared, but he's anxious. He's ready. He wants to do it. He wants him to go to jail, and he wants him to pay for what he's done.
The other boy ready to testify is represented by attorney Ben Andriozzi.
He has decided to dig in his heels, and he's not going anywhere. He fully intends to testify.
The attorney says until Sandusky tried to minimize his conduct on national TV this week, his client was only on the fence about testifying. But now,
when he's called upon by the Attorney General's office to testify in the criminal case, he'll be prepared.
Those 2 alleged victims will join Coach Mike McQuarrie as the key witnesses against Jerry Sandusky. McQuarrie says he interrupted a brutal attack by Sandusky on a 10-year-old in the Penn State locker room shower area. McQuarrie already testified in front of the grand jury, and that panel found him credible, says the former district attorney for the Penn State area, Mike Madeira.
In this circumstance, you have a group of jurors that were unequivocal in saying Mike McQuarrie's testimony was very credible. Obviously, the prosecutors are hoping that when they present that testimony to what we call a petit jury or a jury of 12 in a criminal case, that jury will feel the same way that the grand jury felt.
Former DA Madeira has a brother-in-law adopted by Jerry Sandusky. So when the molestation charges first came to his office in 2009, he saw that they were serious and turned the file over to the state attorney general, claiming conflict of interest. And even now, he is shocked at what he sees as the pattern of abuse that was allowed to go on in one of America's finest institutions.
You look at what happened in this case, where officials were informed and they didn't go to police. Did it surprise you?
Yes, it does. My visceral reaction to that is, how can you know what we now know is alleged you were told and not have done something more with it? Indeed, how can you know in 2000 or 2002, now you're aware of 3 separate incidents and not have done something about it?
8 alleged child molestation cases, and perhaps more to come, in over a decade of time, by a man prosecutors contend used his position, power, and the attraction of big-time college football in what many are now calling the biggest scandal in sports history. At Penn State University, I'm Jim Avila for Nightline.